Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Hope you all are doing good. The topic that we are going to discuss today is machine learning, its applications and a very basic conceptual level understanding of it. So let's begin. Before diving into the concept of the machine learning, we need to understand what learning actually is. So, as Herbert Alexander explained, learning as a process which improves the performance from experience. In simple words, whenever we are using our past experience of some process to improve the performance of the process, actually we are inclining towards the learning. By keeping this in view, the term machine learning is explained as a computer program that improves the performance through experience without any human intervention is said to be a machine learning program. The program that we just described as machine learning program is actually called an algorithm. But it's not just any simple algorithm, instead, it's a special algorithm. And the most important characteristic of this special algorithm is learning. Such an algorithm defines with three things: one, the performance, second, the task, and the third is the experience. Performance, task, and experience are all part of the machine learning algorithm. A machine learning algorithm improves system performance at a specified task by learning from the experience. A machine learning program optimizes the performance criteria for tasks by learning from the past experience or maybe from the historical data. The question rises, why do we need our machine to learn automatically without any human supervision or intervention? The answer is simple. The current era is the era of technology and data. Every possible task is being digitized, which results in a flood of unmanaged data. This results in the increased computational power requirements. Machine learning actually enables us to organize the data such that the machine can automatically learn from it and apply the learning in the present tasks to increase the performance. Hence, increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of the task is the main goal of the machine learning. Moreover, industries these days are inclined towards machine learning as it's a cheap form of the learning as compared to the a team of bunch of human beings who need more time to learn as compared to the computer. Machine learning applications. So let's take a look at various machine learning applications. There are hundreds of applications that are using text analysis and natural language processing, aka NLP. These applications perform analysis on text and perform different tasks, such as they categorize a feedback, such as positive or negative feedback. They separate nouns, subjects, verbs from different phrases, or they summarize long texts or they do the language translations. All of these applications have certain performance percentage which the application continuously try to increase, of course with the help of machine learning. Document classification applications also use text analysis and NLP approaches. They extract keywords, names, places, descriptive words from the text, and then they categorize a document into different categories on which the application has been trained, such as the company homepage, personal homepage, or maybe university homepage. When we go to the google.com and enter a search query, Google retrieves certain documents from all over the web. Have you ever thought how Google is doing this magic? Well, it's not magic and it's definitely not done by some abracadabra. Instead, it's all machine learning. The document retrieval collect keywords, descriptive words, etc. from your search query and then match them with the available document tags, text, and show a list of most suitable documents. By most suitable document, we mean the documents having the maximum similarity to your query. The spam detection in emails works on the same criteria as well. What about the plagiarism checker? Think about it and comment down your answer. Does plagiarism checker also use machine learning applications? If so, why how it does what it does? Processing and speech recognition or speech classification. Applications such as speech to text, language tutors, Google Assistant, etc. All of these use speech signal processing or speech recognition. Some of the applications that contain confidential content require the user to go through a speech recognition activity in which the user is required to speak a few of the phrases. From those phrases, the application learns the authentic user accent, speaking style, and speech abnormalities. Once the application has learned its authentic user speech style, the application then compares the speech with the authentic user speech every time in order to identify if the current user is the authentic one or not. Even though all of these applications are using machine learning algorithms to do their work, but remember that all of these applications have a certain performance, which is definitely not 100%, which means they all have a certain failure rate in a certain scenario. Stock market prediction or weather predictions. Well, stock market prediction or weather forecasting, all type of predictions are mostly based on the historical data. The machine is given the historical data from which the machine learns and predicts the next upcoming event. The prediction accuracy depends upon the historical data size. Larger the data, the more accurate prediction will be. Here I have a question for you. What do you think machine learning follows the widely known assumption that every phenomena, whether natural or not, follows a sequence or not? Comment down your answer. Face recognition. Well, face recognition applications or social media applications such as Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Snapchat, they all use face recognition and identification in order to recommend you the tags of the friends that are in the picture with you. The face recognition and identification application have taken a leap towards the advancement after the deployment of the application that could actually draw a picture of you from your childhood picture. Person identification. So person identification applications also work on the same principle. The application collects certain features from a person's face, such as the shape of the face, eyes, nose, lips, the color, the eye angles, lips curves, etc., and then runs a machine learning algorithm to find the similarity to identify the person. Action, gesture, or activity recognition. Application develops as personal user applications have the tendency to learn the behavior of their authentic user by learning their actions, speaking style, gestures, or maybe activity schedules. Here are some more applications of the machine learning, which includes the speech recognitions, the natural language processing, computer vision, medical outcomes analysis, robot control, or computational biology. Machine learning is now trending and forging its way into more advanced domains such as these sensors, IO devices, data capturing techniques or networking, demand for self customization to user or environments, etc. Function approximation. Machine learning algorithms constantly try to optimize the performance of the task, or in other words, function. Let's see with examples how the algorithms are actually doing the approximation. So for the task at hand, the machine have the input and output. The machine learning algorithm needs to find the process or function that performs the best transformation of input into output with efficiency and effectiveness as compared to the other available functions. Let's see this with an example. So we have a polynomial game in which x is the input and f of x is the output. Now the machine learning algorithm needs to find a best suitable function that transforms the input into the required output. One way to do that is the algorithm will try different functions such as f of x is equals to x, then algorithm will compute the outputs, or f of x is equals to 1 by x, or f of x is equals to x square. The algorithm will compute the output for different inputs against each of these functions, but at the end, the algorithm will select the best suited function for input to output transformation. Here, once again, the algorithm will try different functions, but it will select the most suitable one. The algorithm will select the function on the basis of the following approximation requirements: for memory, averaging, and generalization. Let's see an example. So the question is when a person is going to drive the car. So the answer depends upon the temperature, the precipitation, the day of the week, whether he needs to shop or on the way back home, or what are you wearing. So let's say our machine have some historical data stored in the memory. On this data, our machine is going to learn and then predict the outcome for the next events. So that means when the temperature was 80, precipitation was none, day was Saturday, and the person does not need to shop and he was wearing casual clothes, he went go for a walk. But on the day of the Monday, when he needed to shop, he drove. So let's see. Now we have a temperature at 19 degree, precip is snow, day is Monday, and he needs to shop, clothes he is wearing are casual. Now we need to get the answer what he is going to do, walk or drive. Now on the basis of the historical data that our machine has been trained on, our machine needs to decide whether a person will drive or walk. So we have a similar data entity in the memory stored with the same constraints as this particular one. So we say the person is going to drive. In averaging, we have historical data and the outcomes of them, of course. The algorithm selected function averages out the outcomes and find the outcome which has a high probability of occurrence. So for example, in this particular data, the machine is going to categorize the data by making their clusters. So here, the person is going to drive in these particular two scenarios when the temperature was 80, the day was Saturday, he did not need to shop, and the clothes that he was wearing was casual. And he opted for walk in these 5 times, which means there is a high chance of the person to opt to walk this time as well because the temperature is 80 degree, the percip is none, the day is Saturday, he do not need to shop, but the clothes that he is wearing are casual. So there is a high chance for the walk probability as compared to the drive. So the machine will predict the walk this time. Hence the algorithm predicts the walk. Generalization. In generalization, we have historical data of so many various and different scenarios. The algorithm tries to generalize these facts and deduce some reasoning. So when it comes to the prediction, the algorithm have multiple reasoning statements and the problem rises on which one to choose. So in this particular scenario, the possible reasoning statement could be he's going to walk because it's raining today and the only time it rained he walked. So in this particular data, you can see that when it was raining, right here, the person opted for a walk. So one possible reasoning for the machine could be that he is going to walk because the only time rained, he opted for the walk. Or the other reason could be he is going to drive because he has always driven on Mondays. So you can see that wherever it's Monday, he is driving. On Monday, he is driving. So we can generalize on that. Or he's going to walk because he only drives if he's wearing formal clothes or if the temperature is above 90 or below 20. All of these facts the machine has deduced from this particular historical data. Now the problem rises which one to choose, and that problem is hard to solve. Learning. We say an agent is learning if the performance of the agent is being improved on a specific task. So, learning is the ability of the agent to improve its performance from the historical data or past experience. If the range of past experience expanded, that means the agent will be able to do more and predict more accurately. Not just the agent will be able to do more, but the performance will increase as well. And with time, the speed of the agent will also improve and may exceed from human being as well. An agent can improve its working on any specific task. However, the improvement is totally dependent upon certain factors, such as the agent needs to know what it is actually trying to improve, which task the agent needs to improve its performance on. The agent must have prior knowledge of the task or the historical knowledge of the task. The agent must know the data components and their representations. The feedback must be there so that the agent can learn from it whether he was doing the task right or not. Without feedback, the agent will be stuck at the same level of performance. Learning of the agent highly depends upon the probabilities associated with the events, such as the probability of a person to purchase milk given that they have purchased bread can be calculated from the historical data, and the machine can predict or even suggest the person to purchase milk if he had chosen bread to purchase. All the recommendation systems work more or less on the same principle. And that's actually how the brands decide their combo deals to attract more customers. That was all about the machine learning today. Hope this lecture has helped you to understand the basic concepts of machine learning. If you are interested in machine learning, do explore the domain in depth to get yourself more acquainted with it. If you have any queries or topic requests, feel free to comment them. Have a good day, everyone. Do subscribe, like, and follow to get more interesting lectures. Allah Hafiz.